Yes, sir, massa. Me, I want to say myself. Next time, better. Treat me like your sister. If I not come do me alone, cause if you mess up with my head, I go poo pepper for your eyes. So, Kwasi, Sana, who up in a bishop, baby. Yabusa. Oh baby, mambele, my head, oh, my body, the circle. Ida do me, mambele, my head, oh, my body, the circle. Akua si, sana uwampina bisha baby. Yabusa. Debbie, sana uyani amadi from machi, yeah. Mambele, mahado. Ida do me, mambody, the circle. Mambele, mahado. Mambody, the circle. Circle, mambele, mahato, my body, the circle.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. City TV, it's your world.
A very good morning to you. Another bright day to make a difference. You're welcome to Breakfast Daily on City TV. A very interesting show we have today.
Yes, I love Tisha. This is my first time actually watching her play live, and I must say she's really impressive.
Very amazing.
Yeah.
The voice is very, very soothing.
She has that deep voice, but it's still very soothing. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us this beautiful Thursday morning. My name is Dziffa Ametam.
And my name is Nana Tuffour Boateng. Let's start the show by taking our quote for the day.
And our quote is coming from Andrew Del Blanco. It says, as people spin faster and faster in the pursuit of merely personal happiness, they become exhausted in the futile effort of chasing themselves. So as you're spinning fast, you just end up being exhausted because sometimes you're just chasing your own self.
Exactly. I mean, if all your desires is about self, all you're doing is to make yourself happy and not anyone else. All you think about is I, and not we, then of course you get tired. I heard someone say somewhere that making money and spending it alone is not even fun. You need to rope others in.
Yeah.
So yeah, if all you're doing is going towards yourself and yourself only, I mean, you get bored, you get tired of it. It's like repeating the same cycle always. I mean, it will get boring at a point. So yeah, you need to expand the scope, rope others in. People will come in with different ideas, different approaches, and then of course you can continue doing perhaps same thing, but with a different approach, with a different mindset, with different ideas about it. And then of course it's the same thing, but then it's more exciting doing it.
Definitely. And I think as human beings, sometimes we get so used to taking, you know, you're praying to God, you're asking for this. You go to your family members, you're asking for that. Your friends, you're always the one asking. And when you do that, you lose out on the beauty of actually giving. Because when you give and you're able to impact someone else's life, and when we talk about giving, it's not even gifts. Giving your time, giving your attention, you know, being of service to someone to let them know that you've touched their lives.
True.
That's the legacy that we're all going to leave behind once it's all said and done. What will the people you met say about you after you're gone?
All right. So that's about it for our quote of the day. But of course, our biggest enemy right now is coronavirus. Of course, our figures keep going up. So let's check out the figures. Let's see where we are now. And then, of course, we can go into the breakdown of those figures. Now, we are somewhere around 25,000 plus from 2 cases. Now, we're shooting 25K and over. And then, of course, unfortunately, we've recorded some number of deaths. So that's 139. Yes, and then, of course, we have some recoveries as well. Now, since the protocol was revised, we're seeing more recoveries and discharges now. We're seeing 21,511. And so, yes, 25,430 cases, but we have 21,511 recoveries and discharges. A total active now is 3,780. And so these are the figures as we have them. That's the updates from the Ghana Health Service. But this, of course, was showing you off the City Newsroom website, and so the deaths still remain at 139. Let's take a look at the regional breakdown, where the Greater Accra region, of course, is still in the lead with some 13,869 cases, followed by the Ashanti region with 5,277. Western is third with 2,189 cases. Central region has 1,110. Then we go to the Eastern region, where we have recorded 948 cases. The Volta region has 418 cases. Upper East, 282. Northern, 267. Bono East has recorded 205. Western North has 200 cases. Uti region has 128. Then we have 107 in Bono, 98 in Ahafo. The Upper West region has 70 cases. Savannah has 57, and Northeast has 9. These are that's the regional breakdown. I don't know if there's some condition prevalent in the Northeast region. Because
it could be that they are probably not testing as much as we are. There are so many factors that are involved in all of this, right? But I think the most important thing, guys, is that right now we need to start taking control of our lives. The government can only do so much. Your life is yours. You know the value you have of your life.
Exactly.
So you have to take that personal responsibility of saying that I'm going to protect myself. I'm not going to become one of the numbers that people are going to be talking about when they discuss positive cases, recoveries and discharges, deaths. You have to take that responsibility, because since March, with the very limited resources we have in this country, the government has done the best it possibly can, better than even some advanced countries have done. We had partial lockdown, we had some sort of, discount on electricity. Some people had water for absolutely free. We closed down schools, we closed down churches, we banned social gatherings. We've done so much as a developing country that doesn't even have the financial resources to continue with some of these policies we implemented to save ourselves. So 4 months in, we need to start taking responsibility for our actions. If you go out there to register to vote and the space is not big enough and you choose to stay there, let someone come close to you, touch you, act recklessly with their lives and your life, you have to take some responsibility. You know, and with all these conversations about schools, should we reopen, should we close, it's not as if the general public is clean. We don't even know our status. This isn't March where we were like, okay, we are afraid people are going to import cases into the country because we had not yet recorded any cases. We are now at 25,000, and these are just people who have been tested. Some of us could be positive, but we have no idea. So wherever it is you find yourself, take that responsibility for your life. Protect yourself and protect those you love. We all have to make it through.
That's true. And then begs the question, I mean, the issue of the social gathering amid the ongoing registration exercise is becoming very, very problematic. Yesterday we saw a report, video of some persons actually fighting. And you can see them not, I mean, if you take 100, you get just about 10 of them in the mask.
In a pandemic, I don't understand.
I mean, defying all the protocols, and you're fighting at this time. I think it happened somewhere in the Kroll constituency, that's the Nungwa area. And you sit back and you watch and you ask yourself, what is the end game? What goals do these particular people have? I mean, at what point do you want to do politics at the peril of your own life?
Your own life.
Why would you want to do this to yourself? It was very heartbreaking. And you see, my problem is those back at home who are protecting themselves. You have gone out there to the registration center to go engage in a fight. Now you pick the virus from there and you come infect innocent persons at home. It's very, very disturbing. I think we'll have a video that we can show you on the issues that we're referring to, especially social gathering at the various registration centers. So let's take a look at that.
The issue of social distancing since the commencement of the voter registration exercise across the country has become topical. Many centers have seen some registrants flouting the safety protocol as they queue to register for the voter identification card. In the phase 3 of the exercise, some registration centers are observing the social distance protocol while others are still defying the directive. At the Divine Healing Registration Center in the Dododiodio constituency, registrants had defied the social distance protocol. Although many registrants were seen in their nose masks queuing to register, the 1 meter space had been left unattended to. Although some registrants admitted to breaching the protocol, they had specific reasons for doing that.
So this is the local area, and moreover too, people know each other. They are thinking that, oh, we are just here. I know this person, so there's nothing that person can do, or maybe contract something can give you, because the person is living in the area, and you see the person every day. So you don't believe about the person giving that thing. That you see the local area, how they think. That's it. So they don't find anything because about the social distance, even though most of the people know about it. But you see that thing, because everybody in a hurry to do it. And moreover, they might think that if they close the thing, no one will. And there's no day they will even, register again. So they must do their own. If they extend it, they will come. But if they don't extend, they will do it then. That's all.
Those who have been going and also coming, it's also creating a problem. Because some people will say they will be going and then they will be joining a queue. For when they comes, then they will take their picture. But at times too, everyone has been also leaving his job and also has been coming for the queue before he gets his ID. So in terms of this, I think you also have to spend your time so that at least you can join, because all of us are spending our time here. In terms of the social distance, I think it's normal here, because if you look on the floor or on the ground, you can see some lines over there. Yeah, they demarcated the line also for us, but I think they are the one. Yeah, of course, and we have to, I think, put all these things into consideration so that we can also follow as how they've put in the instructions.
However, other registration centers in the constituency are acceding to the safety protocol. The returning officer at the Simpe Primary School number 4 indicated that registrants were cooperating with the officials.
Yeah, we have 2 policemen here, a gentleman and a lady. One of them goes out there to educate them about the social distancing. Yeah. And even if we finish with the people out in here, they go out there to bring the others.
With the advent of any suspected COVID-19 case, a nurse had been stationed at the old New Era Registration Center. The nurse who spoke to the news team said there's been no suspected COVID-19 case at the center since the commencement of the exercise.
So far, so good. As you can see, they are comporting themselves too. And so far, for the past 4 days, I've not recorded any high temperature. And I think so far, so it's okay.
Reporting for City News from the Dodio constituency here in Accra. My name is Kweku Ediama Ansa.
So there you have it. The first video they are supposed to abide by was not happening, you know, and at this point we can't really say it's the police's responsibility, is the EC, is this person, is that person. You are an individual. You have people at home who love you. You have someone in your family who may have a pre-existing health condition. So when you go out there and behave the way these young men were behaving at Akua, it's ridiculous. And maybe, you know, the fines might be too much, but we need to start enforcing some kind of sanctions on people who behave in this reckless manner. It's one thing to not care about your life, and another thing to put more pressure and stress on our already overworked health care workers. Because if any of these young men end up sick, they are going to have to be taken care of by healthcare workers who are already tired and are selflessly committing to saving all of our lives. So we should not be doing things like this, especially now, more than ever. Yeah. Stay away. Why are you touching somebody? What is so big that you have to fight and break all the protocols? It beats my mind.
I mean, you can just register your displeasure or whatever it is in a civil manner. You do not have to engage in all this. See how many people are touching themselves in there. Now, from the video, it's obvious they are screaming on top of their voices, and so obviously some droplets are going to be coming out of their mouths and all that. Now, imagine if there is one infected person amongst these people. Then you are looking at what, about 100 people getting it, who are also going to spread it further. It's dangerous the way we're going about this. And so now police would have to be deployed to a place like this to restore calm at their own peril. I mean, it's very, very possible that the police will get there and be infected.
Yeah.
Now, imagine the health worker who is already overworked, seeing a video like this. I mean, it would take a lot of courage to even want to go back to work the next day.
Yeah.
Because you see a video like this and just decide to give up. That if people will not take their own safety into their own hands and be responsible, then I cannot also risk my life going to treat them. It is very, very dangerous, the path that we're on. We need to sit back, do a proper introspection and ask ourselves, politics or health? Politics versus health, or politics and health? Make that choice. I mean, it's up to you, the individual, to make that choice. You need to take your safety into your own hands. And now we've moved past the EC should provide this or that. It's obvious they've put the Veronica buckets there. They have a health official station there with a thermometer gun. They have the hand sanitizer there. Their officers are protected. And so you, the individual, going there to the registration center, what effort are you putting in to protect yourself? Let's talk about social distancing. If you feel the place is crowded, you could always, I mean, I understand they even issue numbers. So pick a number, stand somewhere safe. Your personal protection is very, very important. I don't know why we're struggling with this. I mean, if you're sick, you're the one that feels the symptoms. I mean, you are the one that carries it. So if it's backache, you are the one that is feeling it. If it's headache, you're the one who is feeling it. So why can't you just protect yourself and avoid all this? It is pretty simple. I mean, I still haven't gone out to register yet because I still don't think it is safe yet to go out to register. So I'm thinking I'll wait it out a while.
Yeah, you know, and I think we need to get to a point where we hold each other accountable. If you have a friend who acts out, call the person out.
Yeah.
We need to hold each other to a higher standard.
Exactly.
I would have loved to see someone call these young men out when they were behaving that way.
Yeah.
If you have a friend, you guys go somewhere, your friend is acting in a way he or she shouldn't. Use that opportunity to tell that person that, listen, if you're on a suicide mission, kudos to you, but don't do it by exposing yourself to this virus and having to end up at our healthcare centers.
Yeah.
We now have to test you, we have to treat you, we have to ensure that you are going to be safe, all because you decided to be reckless. Let's not do that. We are now over 25,000 positive cases, and these are just what we've tested.
Yeah.
And we all know we've not been testing as rigorously as we were in the past. So that number could be more. Our health workers are now positive. We need to do better, and we are pleading with all of us to please, let's do better.
Indeed, we should all do better. But remember, the show is interactive. You can send in your WhatsApp messages via the number 0550-585832. If you're watching from outside Ghana, of course, use the country code +233.
Yes, and our WhatsApp line is, you just did a WhatsApp line. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily. If you're on Facebook, comment down below. We'll be reading those comments. My name is Dziffa Ametam.
And my name is Tuffour Boateng.
And Nana will be leading us into the news review right after these messages.
There is no promise we cannot keep. There is no commitment we cannot honor. There is no delivery we cannot guarantee. There is only one Bethel Logistics Company Limited, a licensed international freight forwarding and clearing agent, a trusted global brand with an extensive network for the movement of air freight and ocean freight worldwide. We are the trusted name for road freight into Western and Northern Africa. We are fully accredited by Ghana Customs and Excise. We cater for all your freight forwarding, customs clearing and forwarding, cross trades, inland transportation, internal cargo tracking systems, customer freight costing and consultancy, cold chain logistics management, logistics and warehousing, quality inspection, and much more. In Accra, Tema, and Takrady, we are always available to ensure easy movement of cargo countrywide. Call us on 0204 528 900 or 0244 707 859. Email info@bethellogistics.com. Locate us in Accra at North Ridge, adjacent Accra Girls High School, or in Tema at Community 4, or in Takrady on the second floor of the GCB building. Website bethellogistics.com. Bethlog, experts in shipping logistics.
Welcome back. It's still watching Breakfast Daily on City TV. It's now time for the news review segment. But please remember to join in the conversation using the hashtag Breakfast Daily, and of course the WhatsApp number 0550-585832. If you're watching us via Facebook, please leave a comment down there, and we'll be sure to read them out. And so we're going straight to the topics making the headlines and the dailies today. Let's start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper front page. Major story says government releases 70 million Ghana cedis to schools, money for academic interventions, practical and technical examination. It has a picture of the Director General of the Ghana Education Service there. Now, Graphic Do Ghana Travel Festival Emancipation Day launched, and there's a story also from Yendi that says police delegation in Yendi over divisional commander's expulsion. That's the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Let's do Ghanaian Times now. And increase in mobile money fraud. Swindlers target financial institutions. BOG raises alarm. And this one says Bernard Mona faces Supreme Court July 21. Arrest, prosecute persons flouting COVID-19 protocols. This is the Ghana Bar Association speaking. Arrest, prosecute persons flouting COVID-19 protocols. And 4 teacher unions demand closure of schools. That story is on page 12 of the Ghanaian Times. Let's do the New Crusading Guide. Also carries the story of the Ghana Bar Association, and same headline says arrest, prosecute COVID-19 protocol breakers, GBA. Arrest, prosecute COVID-19 protocol breakers, GBA. We are suffering. Road contractors weep over non-payment of debt. We are suffering. Road contractors weep over non-payment of debt. ISA president arrested by patriotic agenda pushers for attempting to get new voters' ID. And this one says Deputy Information Minister in trouble as Akuapem North constituency NPP delegates drag her to court to nullify her parliamentary candidature. That's on the front page of the New Crusading Guide. The Chronicle, major story. After donating 10,000 Ghana cedis for funeral, GHS rejects police report on death of boy after yellow fever vaccination. GHS rejects police report on death of boy after yellow fever vaccination. And this one says voter registration guarantee on sale. Voter registration guarantee on sale. Brouhaha over GBC channels. Brouhaha over GBC channels, and there's a picture of the Minister for Communications, Esla Owusu Akufo. Mahama claim on Alawa is arrant contradiction. Mahama claim on Alawa is arrant contradiction. That's the front page of the Chronicle newspaper. The Business Finder. Business Finder says control borrowing and expenditure even as we fight COVID-19. Experts caution government. control borrowing and expenditure even as we fight COVID-19. Experts caution government. Ecobank Group wins top Euromoney award, and government moves to tackle rent issues in new rent control bill. Government moves to tackle rent control issues in new rent control bill. I'm going to go over to the citynewsroom.com and read to you some headlines there as well. Citynewsroom.com. Educhum clarifies need for BECE WASI to proceed despite coronavirus concerns. Educhum clarifies need for BECE and WASI to proceed despite coronavirus concerns. We have some other stories on there as well. COVID-19. Ghana records 178 new cases. Total now 25,430. And so those are the latest figures there. Finance Minister to present mid-year budget review next week. Finance Minister to present a mid-year budget review next week. Pre-tertiary teacher unions call for closure of schools over COVID-19 fears. Pre-tertiary teacher unions call for closure of schools over COVID-19 fears. Let's bring some more stories there. NDC Youth Wing threatens citizens' arrest over Banda residents' killing. NDC Youth Wing threatens citizens' arrest over Banda residents' killing. Those are headlines from the citynewsroom.com. Let's go to citybusinessnews.com. And Finance Minister to present mid-year budget review on July 23. Minister of Finance to present the mid-year budget review on July 23. COVID-19. Ghana Commodity Exchange laments 45% drop in produce from farmers. Yeah, so that's COVID-19 impact on the business sector there. Cabinet approves accident investigation and prevention bill to boost air transport safety. Cabinet approves accident investigation and prevention bill to boost air transport safety. NPRA takes steps to protect pension contributions as COVID exposes threats. NPRA taking some steps there. Let's move on to other stories, and this one says rising cost of food increases June inflation marginally. Rising cost of food increases June inflation marginally. Let's move on to myjoyonline.com. Let's pick some headlines from there as well. GBC cannot reduce channels, and this is according to the Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. GBC cannot reduce channels. Let's go to bbc.com, Africa Live, and this one says Mandela's daughter Zindzi tested positive for virus. Mandela's daughter Zindzi tested positive for virus. That's from BBC Africa Live. For more news, do log on to citynewsroom.com. And of course, if you want your business news for the day, you can check out citybusinessnews.com as well. And so we're going to move straight into the discussions this morning. Of course, it's going to be very, very interesting. I have been joined by two gentlemen. Richard Nyama, Deputy Director of Communications for the NPP. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, my brother.
And then, of course, we have George Lowe, the Voter Regional Chairman of the NDC. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Okay, so, yeah, Vice Chairman, I believe. Okay, great. We're going to go into the discussions. This morning, we're looking, of course, at the coronavirus issues. That's where we're going to be starting from. And so we'll go straight into some of the stories that I just read. Let's look at that one of the teacher unions calling for the closure of the schools. I mean, that debate has been ongoing for a while now. A number of organizations, groupings have joined in, and now we have some pre-tertiary education unions joining in. And so I'll read a story of citynewsroom.com, and then we can go into the discussion. Headline says, pre-tertiary teacher unions call for closure of schools over COVID-19 fears. 4 pre-tertiary education unions are calling on the government to close schools over the surge in recorded cases of COVID-19. The unions, namely the National Association of Graduate Teachers, Ghana National Association of Teachers, the Coalition of Concerned Teachers Ghana, and the Teachers and Educational Workers Union, in a joint statement demanded that government immediately order the closure of schools in order to avert any catastrophe. They say the government's claims of providing all the needed facilities and materials for pre-tertiary institutions to operate safely and avert the spread of COVID-19 in their various institutions are not accurate, as the situation on the ground is not the best. They said the materials in most instances are non-existent or limited. Angel Kabonu, who spoke on behalf of the unions, told City News that although the government makes the final determination, their position is that the government closes the schools because the current situation is worrying. I'll start from you, Mr. Lowe. Your party more or less holds same view, if I can put it that way, that schools should be closed down because of the current situation we find ourselves in amid the increasing number of COVID-19 cases, especially within the senior high schools. You still stand by this?
Well, good morning to you. Good morning to your cherished viewers. And it's interesting that the points of view that we've held from the beginning, that when this whole idea of asking students to go back to school came up, we, after a thorough review of the situation, came out to indicate that we believe that it was not a step in the right direction, and that government would have to look at these things carefully before they make that determination.
Right.
His Excellency the President came out to confirm that decision and actually gave a litany of things that was to be done, and assured parents and nation at heart that the children were safe and that they didn't anticipate all the things that we are seeing now. But what is the reality? The reality is that we have been vindicated. Our fears clearly has come to play. I am happy that our position has been further confirmed by the 4 teacher unions who have issued statements. You see, at all levels, there are 2 kinds of things you do. There is the policy making, or the policy decision taking, and also the policy decision implementation.
Right.
The implementers are the unions that are talking. They are on the ground. They are with the students. And they are saying to you that, look, looking at what you promised us, and looking at the situation on the ground, we believe that it is safer to close down the schools and ask the children to go home. And I believe that a lot of parents have taken that position too. The PTA, National Association of PTAs, have also come in. So I believe that it is time for government, if it's really, really a government of the people, to listen to the, to the cries of the people. Parents, teachers, other major stakeholders are saying that it's a no, no, no. And that all the reasons that government is giving does not justify putting our children's lives in peril.
So wouldn't it be dangerous now sending them back home after they have been in school in the dormitories where they've recorded some cases?
You see, the challenge we have today, right, using the UST, the KNUST SHS matter, is that if the teacher is telling you that I don't feel safe, how do you think that they are going to be able to monitor the students in school?
But the Ghana Health Service has come out to say that they are training the teachers.
Please. The teacher you are training, he has already told you that, Master, all these things that I'm doing, I don't feel safe. All these things that you are doing, teacher, I don't feel safe. So, no amount of training will psychologically position the teachers to do the needful. And I can tell you, look, you have been in secondary school. I'm sure Richard has been in secondary school, just as I have.
Yeah.
How do we behave when we are in secondary school? We are happy-go-lucky people. We don't really, all these things that they'll talk about, it's not something that we would take seriously.
Yeah.
In the dormitory, you're asking me to wear nose masks. Oh, like the beautiful, exciting children that we are. We'll remove it, we'll do this, we'll do that. The teacher is not there 24/7. Now, we are under the control of maybe the dormitory monitor. Who is he? He has friends, he has mates. Is he able to control them? I mean, but in the house, when I tell you, my child, that, okay, even you have tested positive, you are going to stay in that room. Okay, we are going to feed you, we are going to control you until such a time that we are able to resolve the problem. Don't you think that as a parent, I have a lot more authority to control my child at home?
But can all families afford that luxury?
But you see,
they all have the kind of structure, facilities
you
to
see,
do that.
the reality on the ground is this. One, can all schools also control the children the way they want us to believe they control them? Can they? So you see, I believe that under no circumstance will a parental control be better than school control. Look, the parent has two levels. So, look, if you haven't lost a child before, then you can be giving some of the excuses that people are giving here and there on TV and radio. If you have lost a child before, you know the essence of losing a child, and therefore, whatever you will do to protect your child. In fact, if all of us will sleep in the living room, so that the only room available will be given to our child in school to be able to self-isolate and go through the system, parents will be willing to do it. So clearly, all the excuses that government has given, and I don't know if we are going to come to that. I mean, Dr. Chuchu have said,
we're going to that.
For me, when you sleep over it, I think that we are just not prepared to bite the bullet.
All right, let me come to Richard. Now, we have sent the children back to school. They are going to be taught by the teachers. And these are the teachers saying that, per the current situation, it will be prudent to close down the schools and send the students back home. What are your thoughts?
Let me say good morning to all your viewers, yourself, and my very good friend George Lowe, who I haven't seen in a while. Now he's chopping big posts in the Volta, so he has abandoned his friends. Look, this issue of COVID is a very tough issue. It's ravaging the world, and it's a new phenomenon. It's novel, and that's why it's actually termed novel. And on each day, every single day, it looks like something new about the disease comes up. So our scientists, our experts in the medical and pharmaceutical and all the other fields constantly are either contradicting themselves or the science are changing, because the disease itself is very fluid. It changes on a daily basis. Seriously, it has all sort of strands. The COVID that is in Ghana is not the same as in the US. And so it's very difficult dealing with the disease. When it started, the way we went about it, we were commended about by virtually everybody across the globe. Then it gets to a point where you realize, okay, you have a few hundred cases and your economy is going down. You have shut everything. Nobody is moving. How long can you go on? People may either be sick or die out of COVID, or they will die out of sick or and die out of some other diseases, or even out of hunger as the lockdown continues. So you have to take steps to open. Now it's become very clear. Even the WHO is now shifting to the position where they are accepting COVID is here to stay and stay with us. Which then means that, like the health minister had earlier said, we need as a people to adapt to live with the disease. Because we have to find a way of having a new normal way of life. We cannot live life the way we knew it in the past. But we will have to change and adapt to the disease and live with it.
But in doing so, is it safe to keep the students in school?
So government gives us a list of things that we need to do. And for me, that is where the problem is. I have always believed that as a people, the main reason why we are not developing in this country is because we are lawless. We do not follow the law on any day. We want to test it to its limit. Where your own life is at stake, they tell you what to do to survive and to be able to live long. People will still want to try and see whether they will die or not. As if when you die, you will come back. Now, you work for City TV. I believe 1 or 2 people may have caught the virus here. Has City TV shut down? Has the studio or the station shut down because of that? No. You've taken measures to deal with those people infected. And you have also ensured that certain protocols are followed so that the rest and your guests will not get infected. It's the same thing. Currently, in Ghana, we have a population of 30 million plus, okay? And you have some case count of about 25,000. That is less than 1 person per 1,000 people. We should shut down. You go to the secondary schools, 400,000 students are writing an exam. 110 of them have caught the disease. We are saying that because of that, we should shut down. How are we able to move into the new normal? How are we able to begin to know how we should adapt to the disease if we still want to stay in the past? If we don't want to open...
There's also the psychological aspect of it. Knowing that my colleagues have contracted coronavirus,
yes.
I'm a student myself. Will I be in the right frame of mind to even study to write the exam?
You are here. I'm saying I know media houses where their colleagues have died. The media houses are still running.
Well, fortunately, no one has died here.
Yes,
so.
I'm saying that, yes. And I haven't mentioned that you and I are aware that there are media houses where people have even passed. What I'm saying is that psychological, mental effects and be it are all part of life. If you are stuck in the room for how many days, you feel like a prisoner, it has its psychological effect on you as well. So
don't you think it's the same way these students are feeling now?
I'm saying that yes, that is how they are feeling. It is just normal for you to feel that way because you now have to begin to adapt to the new ways you have to live going forward. You cannot do that in school if the children are going to stay at home. In any case, for how long are we suggesting the kids should stay at home? Because we don't know when this disease will stop. We don't know when it will go down. So they should be there till when? The NDC and all those who are suggesting. What are you suggesting the time frame should be? That they should be at home. When the thing has come down, okay, let's say when it has come down. But so far, the evidence around the world is that the numbers are increasing. It has never gone down.
Right.
All this plateau and coming down thing that we said in the beginning is all down to false signs and false predictions. The thing when we started, I think the number world over was 100,000 in January. Today, you and I are talking about 14 million. By the next month, we'll be talking about 30, 40 million. The numbers are only increasing. So we would need to find ways of letting people go to work, let people go to school, and stay with the protocols. For me, that is where we should be hammering. If they are in school,
let's
and
look
there are
at
issues
some
with
of
the
reasons that have been
provide them.
ascribed for keeping the students in school. This is the Deputy Education Minister speaking. I'm reading off citynewsroom.com again. It says, Duchum clarifies need for BC WASI to proceed despite coronavirus concerns. A Deputy Education Minister, Dr. Yawa Duchum, has stressed the need to avoid a backlog of students in schools, even as COVID-19 has disrupted academic calendars. He made this point on CTTV's Their Point of View in defense of the government's insistence that Ghana must hold the West African Senior School Certificate Examination WASSCE and the Basic Education Certificate Examination BECE this year. Now, some 400,000 final year senior high school students returned to school on June 22, and since then, at least 110 COVID-19 cases in 34 schools have so far been recorded. Now, this is what the Deputy Education Minister is saying. To some extent, you would agree that education is progressive, and so some would have to move on for others to come in. Now, we are final year students in schools, but there is coronavirus. How long should we keep them at home, knowing that there's also a backlog that needs to be cleared? There are more students that will have to progressively graduate, especially if we were looking at it from the kindergarten level all the way to the junior high and the senior high level. This reason being given by the Deputy Education Minister, what do you make of it?
Well, you see, it's interesting when I listen to these arguments coming from people of certain stature. Let me start from Richard. Richard is talking about, I mean, the psychology is the same everywhere, and everybody will have emotional, psychological problems and things like that. My brother, a parent's ability to handle psychological problems is not the same as a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old in a SHS. Let's bear that in mind. So that if City TV or City FM can decide to continue operating because one member of staff or two members of staff, and therefore they put in the protocols, right? It cannot say the same thing for a school. I heard the health minister speak yesterday and talk about congestion.
Yeah.
So we agree that the schools are congested, but was that what was promised us? We were told that because other streams were not in school, we were going to have a situation where social distancing and all these things would happen. Now, there's school unions, the education unions, are telling that is not what is happening. So there's cause for alarm. Yeah. You see, I have watched with awe and worry, hearing people say 1 per 1,000 deaths, as if one death can be written away.
Obviously, it cannot.
It cannot.
Every life matters.
Every life matters. We are talking about 139 deaths now. Yeah. Even in a war situation, we may not get 139 people. When 129 people died in the stadium disaster, how did we take it as a message? So for me to sit back and hear people who we have asked to manage our lives for us tell us that, oh, it's always a 1:1,000. I worry a lot about that kind of attitude.
But then what is the alternative?
I'm coming. You see, we are typical governance. People we put in authority are basically lazy. Lazy in thinking, lazy in framing policy. For how long have we had the virus?
Well, in Ghana, it's about 4 months.
We were talking about locking down when we were less than a few hundred, 100 or something. Today, we are 25,000, right? And we are now saying that we should live with the disease. For me, there's a problem there. Now, what is the way forward? I would have expected that by now there would have been people put together thinking through how do we reach the students, how do they write their exams online. All those things are not happening. Rather, we are taking decisions that will further worsen the issues. And that is what worries me. And that is why I'm saying that for now, let the students go back home, put in place structures. My wife teaches at the University of Ghana. Okay? They did their a lot of their things online. So students didn't have to, final year students have graduated. Some, have finished their longest that have been marked, results are supposed to be monitored and submitted, and they'll graduate. Yeah. They didn't have to go physically to the schools. We are in an IT world, we are in a modern world. To the extent that all these years, or all these months, government has not sat through to think about a way out. For me, smacks of laziness, smacks of lack of ingenuity. And then we have many other things that they are talking about. Right. For instance, so because people must progress, what if it were a disaster? A natural disaster that we cannot go anywhere. The schools will not even be standing for you to go and put the children there. That one, you say the children to write where? In the debris? I mean, Nigeria and others are not stupid though. They also think. And that is why they are saying that they will rather keep you alive to be able to write an exam maybe next year or next 2 years than to put you in peril. You finish writing the exam, you go home and die. Have you listened to Richard Kext? Have you heard his video about the aftermath of what? The pandemic. The pandemic. Yeah. The pandemic, from what health people are saying, it doesn't mean that you go and they tell you that you've been discharged because your counts have come down or you've tested again. It doesn't end there. It would have destroyed part of your system. Yeah. And you may have to live with that for the rest of your life. Ghanaians must understand that. It is not as simple as, oh, I've recovered, or that so many people have been asked to go home. Right. We need to be careful. Our lives are at stake. The next generation's lives are at stake. The least we can do to show that we really, really are giving this country some good stewardship is to think through and come out with solutions. Governments are supposed to, they are elected to provide solutions. Okay, this for me cannot be a solution because I cannot wait. What happens if kindergarten cannot progress to class 1? And so because of that, haven't we had the universities locked up in this country for 9 months? Okay. Didn't we find a way out? We are talking about life and death, and government must get serious. This thing we have said as a political party, that our reading of the situation is that all that government wanted was to send our children to school so that they can be registered.
That is an allegation. Well, just not watching.
But we are entitled to that opinion anyway.
We'll come back and then you have your take on that. I need to take a break now, but please send in your messages using the hashtag Breakfast Daily and of course via the WhatsApp number 055-058-5832. We'll be right back.
Ghana, buy Ghana, buy Royal Farmers Rice, a product of Avnash Industries Ghana Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily on City TV. We're having the news review segment, and just before that break, Mr. George Low ran us through his assertions of what he makes of the defense government is putting up for keeping the students in school. Now, I'll come to you, Richard Nyama. Do you stand by this defense, or should we put the lives ahead of the education of these students and send them back home? If we say that we're waiting or we need to have them graduate so that other batches also move up the education ladder, comparing that to the safety of the students, which one would you go for?
You're trying to box me in and I'm not going to fall for it. Look, number one, the average family in this country is about 5, okay? And the average family lives in a chamber and hall. Okay, that's the average family. Majority are living in just one bedroom, one room. Yeah. The mother, the father, and all the children. And so when you are talking about self-isolation or self-quarantine in our Ghanaian sense in a home, it's non-existent. Mr. Lowe can actually look at the possibility of having a room dedicated to a child. But I'm saying that even the way that chamber and hall is the same room. It's just an extension that there's a door, or in some cases it's just a partition. Yeah. And so when we are talking about self-isolating the kids at home, I don't know where that comes from. The schools have been mandated to create bays and have medical officers attached to that.
They're just converting the infirmaries to isolation centers.
Yes.
But then there's still the challenge of congestion at the schools.
For me, the Minister of Health will have to come and speak to that. Because if you have a school of about 1,000 students, and at this point you have just about 200 of them there, and he's talking about congestion, he has to come and justify what he has said, because I don't
to catch you, but we've also heard, I think it's a DC for Kumawu, closing down a school actually because of congestion.
Okay, so in that particular instance, he has taken that particular step because of the congestion. If it is so. But when you have a blanket statement that it's all due to congestion, I don't buy it. Because majority of the schools have more classroom space right now. They have more dormitory space right now. Unless the instances where the schools are, what do we call it? Day schools. Where you do not have, and even that I think they would have converted the other places into dormitories for them to stay in school and do this. Now, you look at the gestation period of the COVID virus itself, and it is very simple to say that the large majority of these infections would have come from the home in the first place. Because they started detecting it when they went into school, a week after. So naturally they would have brought it from home. Their colleagues then catch it. We're looking at 110 out of 400,000 people. For goodness sake, are we saying that when the kids are with their parents, they will get better treatment? Now look at it. As a result of this process, government has put up a team that is doing the monitoring of the schools, doing further testing of the students, and providing the needed treatments. If they were at home, the likelihood that they will get the same preferential treatment and attention is less. So for me, looking at it, the special attention that is now being given to them, it's even more so better a situation than if they were at home and mixing. And most of them will be asymptomatic. They will be going about it and spreading it in the community. Now you have isolated them, and you can actually target and treat them. The issue of fear and all those things, it is there. There is nothing, no society where you have this happening without anybody being afraid. Right now, when I get a cold or a cough, the first thing that comes to my head is COVID. Meanwhile, under normal circumstances, I should go about my day and feel normal. They take your temperature and show it to you, and if you hit 37, then you are scared. Meanwhile, that is supposed to be your normal temperature. You get it? So psychologically, we are all affected by this. But the question is, must we shut down? Would the NDC shut this country down for 6-7 months? Say that we should stay home because some 25,000 people have contracted the disease. When you have over 1 million, 2 million people contracting malaria every year, and over 50,000 of them dying out of malaria. When this thing started, over 40 people died in the Upper East out of cerebral meningitis. I keep repeating that. The biggest danger we have is that this disease is taking our attention from all other diseases. And people are dying out of other diseases more than they are dying of COVID. Because our attention now is to deal with this disease and put it away. But the science also shows that you cannot do it away with it. Just like that. Even the vaccines, the efficacy of it is now being questioned. As of yesterday, that if they are providing antibodies, from the recent research, you have the antibodies only functioning for a few months. A few months, the antibodies are out. That is supposed to be the role of a vaccine. And so, we have a problem on our hands as a world. if you want to eat food, you have to learn how to cook. You have to cook it and put the ingredients there. If you want to have a new life and a new normal, we will have to adapt to it. Right. And I don't know any country in the world today that is shut down due to COVID. And most countries, if not all countries, numbers are increasing. But it is now dawned on us that this has come to stay and we'll have to find ways around it.
All right.
The developed countries, even they have started schooling. The problem is that, like I said, we do not obey rules and regulations. You step out of here, and people are not wearing their mask, and they are gathered and talking in each other's faces. Yeah. Yeah. You go to the offices, and that is why the offices have become the epicenter. Because people have put the protocols aside, and they are living life as if it's normal. Because it has not attacked them, they feel the thing is a distant disease. People don't see it, and the thing can actually be in you, and you will not see it until it has degenerated and virtually killed you.
Okay.
And so, please, those fears are genuine fears. They are understandable. But when can we start living our lives? Yeah. If we can answer that question, then we can shut down until that time comes, and then we'll move on. Talking about technology, Jesus Christ, children writing their exams through, what do we call it, the internet. Are we technically equipped for that? In my village where you don't have internet connectivity, how, and the whole village, you might not even get a computer, let alone a laptop. How is that girl or boy supposed to write their exam? Let's be very frank with ourselves. If you are talking about higher distance, high level of education, the universities and all those things, they probably, by the time they get to that level, are able to afford a computer. Not the JHS and the SHS. They don't have it. And we don't have the capacity to do that. And in any case, if they stay home and do their own learning, to go and write those exams, I can tell you that it will be a bomb. The results will be terrible. They will, because they've been sat home for 4 or 5 months. You need to refresh them and prepare them for the exam in the first place. Okay. Unless we are saying that we should take the exam out completely. If you want to go the Nigerian way, that is an example you can go. Okay. But you also have to prepare to live with the consequences of that.
That's fine. Let's move on to the national management and then look at the concerns that are coming in, because the private medical practitioners are raising some red flags over Ghana's COVID-19 management. Read a paragraph or two and then I throw it to you, gentlemen. The Society for Medical and Dental Practitioners is worried over what it describes as Ghana's explosive COVID-19 case count and the poor government intervention to handle the outbreak 4 months after the country recorded its first 2 cases. According to the group, issues such as the shortage in personal protective equipment, PPE, delays in testing time, and the inadequacy of testing laboratories, among others, which have not yet been completely addressed, raises serious doubt about the government's commitment to reducing the rate of infections in the population. In an elaborate statement to government, the society is demanding expedited steps to improve the country's COVID-19 case management and response. So this is a group of private medical practitioners, and they are on the field, obviously, and these are the concerns they are raising, that they do not have adequate PPE, the delays in testing time, the turnaround time for the test and all that has proven a major challenge for them. How do we step in to improve the situation so that, just like you mentioned, the fear, we are able to allay the fears of people and then deal with the situation as something that is here?
Press release as well. And their concerns are very genuine. And I want to pray the government to take their concerns on board, especially the Ghana Health Service. I actually thought that they would be, or they are part of the processes or the various management teams and committees that are out there managing the situation. Because if you look at our health delivery system, the private health delivery providers are the biggest chunk of it. And so if they are not part of the decision-making process, we'll be missing a very big percentage of our health delivery system in the process of resolving this problem.
Sure.
And if you listen to the issues they are facing and they are bringing up, it is obviously clear that they are seen as private and they are making their own money, and so they are left to their own devices to fight this, because in any case, when the patient comes in, they will treat the person and pay, the person would pay. But the cost of it, can the patient in the end bear the cost of that? So they are asking for some subsidy in terms of that. The request for PPEs, they are being given, but it's not enough. You see, unfortunately, that is the cost that this disease has brought onto the whole world. Everywhere the disease is, and so we are all fighting for limited resources. The countries that are even the most advanced, up to date, the United States of America is still complaining about shortage of PPEs, though they have started production. It is the same thing. The road to self-sufficiency is for you to provide it in yourself, to build it yourself, to manufacture it yourself. Question is, maybe we should increase the capacity of the local manufacturers to do more in that direction. I think it is very important, because if we are relying on getting all our PPEs from China, unfortunately we will not be able, because the whole world are going to China to go and get it, and that will cost us some lives. So we need to look at that. The issue of the testing period, it's a major challenge that we need to actually get over. But it's also the same thing in the most advanced countries. Yesterday, watching CNN, the U.S., they have in Florida, they are complaining of having a turnaround time of 4 days, 5 days. They want it to be within 24 hours. Ours is 7 days. And that is very bad a way of getting results, because if it will take 7 days for me to get the results, is it declared on that day or the day the results were sent as the day or as they count for the day? You understand? Because as a result of the backlog, you are miscounted. And we need, but you have the experts also tell you that the kits that turn out with the results within 24 hours don't give you accurate results. The percentage is lower. And so you might be misdiagnosing people as having it when they don't have it, or not having it when they actually have it. So there's a delicate balance between these things. But I'm also aware that at a point there were issues of shortage of even the chemicals to be used in the testing.
The reagents.
The reagents. Those are the challenges. And you see, for me, we as a people will now have to see that this whole idea of depending on the developed world for every need cannot be sustainable, because when it comes to life and death, they will solve their situation before they attend to you. And so there is even the bigger need now for us to produce locally, local products. And we shouldn't just produce them, but we as a people as well should have to change our habits and our tastes to locally produce products. That is the only way we can develop.
All right, thank you.
We can't rely on China for everything.
Come to you now. Do you think, having observed how we've managed the situation so far, do you think it's time to re-strategize our approach in order to protect more lives?
Well, the verdict is clear out there. The verdict is so clear to the extent that everybody believes that it has been badly managed. And if you listen to Richard carefully, yes, he admits that the problems are there, but he feels that it's a global phenomenon, and that is the offshoot is what we are having here. But look, in other jurisdictions, at least there are things they are getting right. You see, over here, I always say that our lazy man attitude, particularly by decision makers, let it be this, let it be that, and then that. Look, going back to the schools, what are the teachers really saying? The teachers, what are they saying? They say, look, even the nose marks you promised us, you haven't delivered all. Even the things that you yourself as government, you have promised, you haven't delivered. And based on that alone, we are not comfortable that we can deliver our part of the bargain. What is their part of the bargain? They are policy implementers, so that they are the direct people who supervise the students. But if the supervisor is telling you that I cannot guarantee my own life, let alone supervise the people I'm supposed to, then we are in crisis. We need to rethink about some of these things. And government should be bold. You see, I get a feeling when I listen to people in government that it is like an ego problem. Oh, we've sent them to school. Now that people are saying we should record them, if we do, it will be like we didn't know what we were about. But please, these are lives of young people at stake.
Yeah, but we cannot do our politics with the lives of students. Yes, and I'm saying that we still stand by the fact that, you see, the children's issue cannot be used, the SHS students' issue cannot be used or cannot be compared with the global way of handling the thing. They are children. Look, the minister, the director of health had said that even the GSS people in OT. Yeah, there's one case there.
There's one case there. So it means that we are coming down lower.
Yeah.
Pray God that he ends there. But if he doesn't, then we are in real crisis, because we get to a time when we have no control over the disease. But I'm still saying that, you see, when government at the beginning gave us the impression that they were in total control of the situation, and that what they got it so right, so much so that they were receiving applause from international organizations, which turned out not to be the case. Because how then can the minister, every day I heard, we are getting these numbers because we are doing aggressive testing and retesting. Today, even reagents, zero.
Yeah.
So did we prepare in any way, or we're just happily churning out the figures and pleasing Ghanaians? That shouldn't be the case. I believe that, like they themselves, government themselves have said, no decision has been taken based on data and science. The decision has been taken based on maybe political science and political data, not scientific data and science. Because clearly,
but the president has always maintained that the decisions are based on science.
Please, my brother, the private medical associations that are releasing it, are they not better, in a better position to think about the data and the science than the president? For instance, the president is not a medical person. Even his medical advisors, it's clearly showing that they are not on top of their job.
All right.
So clearly, I think that we should move away from this. The mistake is that tomorrow we may go to the supermarket and my little son will see his son, and maybe they are mates or something, and then they let go and they go and do their own thing. What if one of them has the virus and he doesn't know?
Yeah.
So you see, what is at stake is bigger.
Okay.
Than this. And all this issue about most Ghanaians live in chamber and hall and things like that. Look, for me, so why did you leave them in school? And in any case, in school, how many are there in a dormitory?
Right.
It's somebody living
to do more introspection on this matter. But let's move into other subjects. One that I think, of course, interests both parties. The ongoing voter registration exercise. We've heard a number of issues there, so we want to tackle some. I'll take this one from the City Newsroom, the one that has to do with the killing of a teacher trainee at Banda. The story says NDC youth wing threatens citizens' arrest over Banda residents' killing. The youth wing of the opposition National Democratic Congress NDC has warned that it will conduct citizens' arrest of persons involved in the killing of a 28-year-old man at a registration center at Banda in the Bono region. The graduate teacher trainee from the Methodist College of Education at Akimoda in the Eastern region, Silas Wulo Chame, was allegedly stabbed following an altercation between some New Patriotic Party NPP and National Democratic Congress NDC supporters at a registration center in the area. Should a registration exercise deteriorate into such a level where persons are being stabbed?
Well, pregnant question. Very, very pregnant question. But unfortunately, that is where we are finding ourselves. And I have said over time that, over the years, we've had, in 1990-something, we did voter registration.
Yeah.
In at least the recent one, 2012. Did you hear any of these things? Did you hear situations where people were put in track with guns and things moving from polling station to polling station? there are all sorts of things in flying around where people are being interrogated, Ghanaians are being met on the street on buses, and cards being demanded from. Did you ever hear that? Why are we in this situation today? I think it's government failure. Failure on the part of government to ensure that proper processes, take place. It is sad that somebody, a promising young man, would die. And I even understand it was out of mistaken identity. That he was not at the point where whatever scaffold went on, and that whilst he was moving somewhere, they accosted him and found, and then asked him where he was coming from. And once he mentioned the place, the assumption was that he was part of the NDC, and then whatever happened to him happened to him. Painfully. Because thankfully he didn't even die on the spot. He was able to give information as to who were involved.
Attacked him, yeah.
As we sit, the police haven't made any arrest, even though those people are known. But you see, that when the agenda has been set long ago. I was part of a delegation that went to Banda when that matter happened, where settlers, some ever settlers along the Bui, had their houses burnt and chased by gunmen coming from Bui Power. And when he went, all that they told you was that a certain government appointee had come to tell them that you have been voting for the NDC. So we'll make sure that
these are allegations.
No, they said no. Oh, I was there physically. It's not allegations. Please, let's not talk about allegations.
That I cannot prove it here on the show.
I'm telling you that I was in Banda. It was on air. It was on air. They mentioned the person's name. You understand? We went to the chief of Banda. He gave us exactly what happened.
Yeah.
We sent food and relief items to them because their houses have been burnt. Yeah. I will let the delegation, we walked to their villages. We saw it with our eyes.
Wrap up
so I'm saying that. So if today they have given you this indication, and then now go and register and vote, and people are being killed, it tells you that the agenda has been set, and it's not only in Banda.
All right, thank you.
All over the country, these things are going on. They keep going on. And I'm asking that, why is it going on like that today? It's because the government itself is promoting some of these things.
Let me come to you, Richard. Touch on this registration and then the fallout.
Before I go to the registration, I will refer my brother to, you see, this
we're
whole
running
issue.
out of time, so if you can just start on the registration for me.
You see, this whole issue about the COVID and its impact and we closing down, all those things. If you really mean what you are saying, I think you should show the way. Give us evidence. And I would suggest that you do that and convince Ghanaians by asking former President John Mahama to stop going around campaigning. He should stop interacting with people because that is one fast way of spreading it. One of your sister stations did a program in the Volta region. After that, the former president went there. And in his interactions, to prove that he is obeying the protocols, I saw him wash his hands. He was wearing his nose mask.
Yeah.
Fine. But after that, someone tears the paper napkin and gives it to him, and then he cleans his hands. What is that? If the person has it, that is the fastest way of you getting it. Then you end up giving it to all those people. So if you really mean that we should close the schools and stop everything, please stop campaigning. Advise him. And then at least Ghanaians will know you mean business. Ghanaians will know you mean business. But beyond that,
I need you to wrap up on this.
This issue in Banda, it is purely criminal. And I think that we should cut the politics out of it. I call on the regional police commander and then the regional security. Yes, they should get to the bottom of it, arrest whoever it is. Killing somebody, that is a high crime. And the law should take its course.
Right.
If we politicize it, it gets out of hand. Point is that let's call on the proper authorities. Whoever is the perpetrator, whether the person is wearing an NDC or MPP color, should be taken on.
Right.
But here is the case when we identify the people as NPP, they do not take them on. That is the problem.
Are you getting the point?
That is the problem.
The point I'm making is that it is a criminal offense.
And should be dealt
with as such.
Exactly.
Make that point.
Let's stop the point sitting in buses with cars and
I have a number of messages here. I'll try and rush through them briefly. This one is NS Duta, and he says, good morning. Are they going to still keep the students in schools after the exam? They will definitely go home. So it's good we stop joking. Life is one. Let's be careful. The students are at risk as long as they remain in school. This one says, I am chatting with a lady in school among the final year students, and the girl is very, very sick and just in the dorm without being taken care of. She said when she complained about her sickness, she was only given paracetamol, but she's suffering from malaria. I told her to take permission and come home, and she said they are not letting anyone go home. And I said, if so, I will buy medicine and bring it to her in the school. So there are those concerns. There are those concerns.
No, but you see, when somebody sends such a story, there's no way of verifying
exactly.
it.
This is just a message sent in there. But then, of course, it goes to inform the authorities to move in and to verify some of these things and provide the needed care so that
sending the text is diagnosing malaria. How?
Yeah, but so
it's
that is my problem.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much. George Lowe, NDC Vice Chairman for the Volta region, and Deputy Communications Officer for the NPP, Richard Nyama. Grateful that you joined us. Interesting conversation. You're still watching Breakfast Daily on City TV. When we come back, we have more in store for you. Don't go anywhere.
There is nothing as hard as a diamond. For buildings with superior strength that withstand all weather conditions, Diamond Cement should be your preferred choice. Locate Diamond Cement nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrady and Bupe. Diamond Cement, as hard as a diamond.
There are those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves on footprints. Yes.
Oh, at some point, well, we are taking the step. Unfortunately, he was dragging the country into an abyss. Yeah. So we saw it. But they held power, the guns and so forth. Who were we to? We just watched. But by, I believe, 74-5, the country was seeing through him that this man was a total misfit.
But he was a happy man.
But because in Akan there's a proverb. It's a kwasia na no so nsu a so twati.
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to their outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through time.
Lincoln, we have one of our, school member died or whatever, so we have to go there and perform during the funeral, whatever. And then I was feeling thirsty, so there was but those days it's not like pure water or whatever. They sell the water in the bottle. Yeah, stuff like that. So there was a bottle there. I thought it was just a water. No, it was aquatation, So I just took it when I drank it, before I realized, Charlie. So what happened to me, I was like, Charlie, I've never touched. So since then, I've never touched alcohol.
Okay, so you didn't drink alcohol, and you never smoked?
Smoked, no way. No.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
Never.
Then who comes out of the car? Chachu Chikata and Kojo Chikata. And the Chachu told me that they have, Kojo was sick since the morning and he has been tortured and whatnot, and they have come for medical attention. Of course, naturally, I have to look after them, even though they are very close relatives. So I look at Kojo, I examine him, I notice that he's definitely been tortured. And there was blood, deep-seated blood in the ears, we can see that clearly.
So join me, Samuel Atamensa, and my guests every Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. for Footprints, only on City TV.
Footprint is sponsored by Bethel Logistics Company Limited, experts in shipping logistics.
When you wanna rise like a vapor, bad man wanna use you like paper. And I shoot full of pressure. Negativity call me later. They want surgery, they want body before they help. Oh. If you want to blow, all of them want to chew. Oh. Now women they suffer. Oh. Lo lo lo, na 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 na. Then really they suffer. Oh. Lo lo lo, na 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 na. Women they suffer, lo lo lo, na 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 na. They really they suffer, lo lo lo, na 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 na. This one is exclusive, you know. Them no know how we strive before we survive. Nobody want to help. Oh. You know agree them go say you be wacko. Better know God no go fire mana. If you the hate and the bother man, no, you want terror in movie. Oh. They have to use you before you blow. No women the suffer. Lo lo lo, na 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 na. Then really the suffer. Lo lo lo, na 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 na. Women the suffer, lo lo lo, na 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 na. Then really the suffer, lo lo lo, na 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 na. Lo lo lo, na 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 na. Then really the suffer, lo lo lo, na 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 na. I wanna do my new single again. 6:30 is out now. If you've not seen the video, it's on YouTube on Dziffa Music channel. Boy say no go lie me. Shy say no go lie me. See that thing do the roomy. First no na me Judy, yeah. Baby I know be mumu way. If I leave you it no be taboo way. Oh free fear 6:30, Baba na about 10:30. Wajuma tadi at 2:30. Yeah busa was you forget it. Oh free fear 6:30, Baba na about 10:30. Wajuma tadi at 2:30. Yeah busa was you forget it. Kwasi sana o wampina bisha baby. Yeah busa uda biya usidabi. Sana o yani amadi famachi machi yeah. Oh baby mambela mahado. Ida do me mambori dashako. Oh baby mambela mahado. Ida do me Siki good and not evil. You just spend money on schoolgirls, so yes, sir, massa. Me, I won't tell you, say mess up. Next time, better treat me like your sister. If I no come do me alone, cause if you mess up with my heart, I go pull pepper for your eyes, so baby, hey, kwasi. Sana wampina bisha baby. Yabisa udabi ya usidabi. Sana uyani amadi famachi. Yeah. Oh baby mambela mahado. Ida do me mambari deshako. Oh baby mambela mahado. Ida do me mambari deshako. Mambela mahado. Mambari deshako.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and StarTimes box. City TV, it's your world.
Welcome back. It's Breakfast Daily on City TV. Thank you guys so much for staying with us. For the DIY segment today, we're going to learn how to make simple beads, okay? We all love beads. We have a lot of beads in this country, but some of us don't know how to make the simplest beads of all. We have Dorinda Asamoah, who's the CEO of Wa Beads and Accessories with us. She's going to walk us through everything that we need to know. If you have any questions as we're going on, let us know. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. If you're outside Ghana and you would like to contribute to the conversation, you can use the country code +233. Good morning, Dorinda.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you too for having me.
Awesome. So what do we have here? Where do we start from?
Okay, so for do it yourself today, we making 2 pieces of simple African earrings and then a simple 30 beaded ball ring.
Okay.
That's what we are doing now.
Okay, so we're going to make earrings.
Yes, please.
And then a ball ring.
A ball ring. That's the 30 beaded ball ring.
30 beaded ball ring.
Yes, please.
What are the materials we will need to begin with?
Okay, so we begin with the earrings. We have local beads, the Krobo local beads here. And then we'll be blending with some crystals. And then we have our earring studs.
Okay.
And then our copper sticks here also. And then our tools to make it complete.
Awesome. So let's get started. So if you have any local beads at home, we're using cobalt beads today.
Yes, please.
And then, of course, you will need the studs as well.
Yes,
as those
the copper sticks.
Copper sticks, as you use that to hold on to it.
Yeah.
And then you will need these tools to get it done.
Yes,
All right,
please.
Dorinda, let's get started.
Okay. So we pick earring studs. This tool is used to straighten copper sticks here.
Okay.
So that's
and why are we straightening it?
Yeah, sometimes it gets crooked. You know, it's copper, so it's not really firm.
Okay.
So you have to straighten it a bit.
Okay. So you have to straighten. That's the first thing you do.
Please.
Okay.
So right after, you know, with our local beads, it has deep holes.
Yes.
So you have to support it with crystals here.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So the crystal will be at the base
that will
to
be the
hold
base.
up the. Okay.
Yeah. Then you put it here so it doesn't fall.
Okay.
Then, because you'll be turning the copper stick in, you have to put one on the top also. So like this.
Okay.
And then let's say you get a smaller crystal here, like this. And then you take your earring studs.
Okay.
Here. You fix it here.
Okay.
Because the copper stick is a bit long, you cut a little portion of your cutter.
Okay.
So you gauge where you cut, because you need to bend down. You need to bend down the copper stick so that the earring stud will be able to sit.
Okay, so go ahead.
So we'll use the round nose. Yeah.
Okay. To bend it.
Yeah, to bend it. Yeah. So after bending it, you use the curved pin to straighten it a bit.
Okay.
So there you go.
Wow.
You have your earrings.
In 2 minutes, we have our earrings.
Yeah.
Wow. So there you have it. So we started out with our little. What did you call this?
The crystals. That's the crystals.
Started with the crystal.
Yeah.
Then we moved it to
the cobalt beads.
The cobalt beads. Then we added more crystals to it.
Yeah.
And here we have our stud.
Beautiful.
So you can be creative with the stud if you want.
Yes.
This is so simple.
Yes.
What else are we doing today?
We are doing the 30 beaded ball ring.
Okay.
Okay. The reason why it's called the 30 beaded ball is we use 30 beads.
Why 30?
And that's actually how you would get a round ball.
Okay.
So
you can use 15, 20,
no,
35?
It's either 30 or 90.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So with that one, it comes with a little calculation.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have, first of all, you have to count your beads. Okay. The first segment is 5. And then you count 4.
So it's a little bit of maths, guys.
Yeah,
if your children are home and they don't know where they will need to apply mathematics, even when you're beading, you need mathematics.
Yeah. So, and then you go to 3. Then you go to 3 here. And then 3 here too.
Okay.
Okay. So 3. And then you come to 2. Then and then you have 3 again. Then we have.
So you're doing division right there.
Yes, please. So that when I start making it,
it's easy to.
It's easy.
Follow. Okay.
Yeah. So we have to. So all making 30 pieces.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me put the rest here so
you don't get confused.
Yes,
so what have you done now? Do you have one? What are the sets that you have? You've grouped them into.
Yes, I've grouped them. So the first, this one
is 4.
Yeah, the first
3.
is 5.
5. Okay.
And then I have 4.
3.
3.
3. 4.
3.
Okay, 3, 3, 3.
Yes, please. 3.
Okay.
3, 3, 3. And then I have 2. Then I come back to 3. Okay. And I have two, and then 1. So it has to be 30. So,
okay.
9, yeah.
So once you have them the way she has it, then
there. So that's my fishing line.
Okay.
It comes in sizes. So it comes in sizes.
Okay.
This is 0.35.
Okay.
It's tiny so that the beads fix in properly.
Okay. So when you're going out to get the line, it should be 0.3.
It should be 0.3 or 0.35.
Okay.
Yeah. So I first put the 5.
Your first set of 5.
The first set of 5. Okay, so with the last bead, you cross over with this line, the other one on your left.
Okay.
And then you pull it down to get this.
To lock it.
To lock it up. Okay. And then, so with this 30 ball beaded ball, one other thing is, when you are putting the beads on this line, it needs to cross with this.
Why?
You shouldn't change. When you change, you not get the ball.
Okay.
So that's the trick there. Okay. So I put it here.
So we are creating a ball.
Yes,
right
please.
now.
I'm creating a ball right now. Okay, so
I will cross again.
Okay. So, you know, the 4 has to join with the 5. Okay. So with the twine on my left, I cross it into the first 5.
Okay.
Just 1 bead here.
Now we have 9. A circle of 9.
Yeah. So I move on to the first 3. And then I repeat the same thing.
Cross it again, so that it will join with the 9.
With the 9.
So now we have 12.
Yes, please.
This is actually a really fun way for parents to teach their kids mathematics, I must say.
So move on to the second 3.
Again, we're learning to make beads, simple ways of making beads at home. I mean, we all love beads, whether you're a man or a woman, and sometimes it can look so complicated to make them. So Dorinda is helping us, you know, with basic materials. Grab some copper beads, grab some crystals, get a string, and all these amazing tools. And then you have yourself a beautiful earring and some rings. But what I'm learning so far is that there's a lot of science to bead making. And most of the time when you think of bead making, you're thinking of the arts, you're thinking of creative things. But there's also a bit of mathematics in there. So we're doing really well. You have to actually organize your beads in numbers. You break them out in numbers, and then it'll help you get the finished product that you're thinking of. Again, it's an interactive segment. We're doing things ourselves. We're learning new things as we go. And if you have any questions or contributions, let us know. The hashtag to use is Breakfast Daily, and our WhatsApp line is 0550585832. If you're outside Ghana, you want us to hear from you, just use the country code +233. Where are we now?
We are the last 3.
Ooh, okay.
So we're almost getting the ball.
Okay.
So because the next one is 2 instead of 3, I didn't put my twine in just 1 bead.
Okay.
I put in 2 so that it will be able to connect well.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you have to try and put it in the 2 last beads.
2 last beads on your left. Okay.
So wow, we already have the ball.
So we have half of the ball now. So
is that 15 that we've gone through so far?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So
we'll continue there. It takes a lot of concentration, I must say.
Yes.
Where did you learn to do this, Dorinda?
I learned to do it from one woman at Makola number 2 bead market, which is at Agbogbloshie now.
How did you end up there?
I went searching.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went specifically to learn to make beads?
Yes, sure.
How did she react when you went there?
She was amazed because I was a graduate, and then she was asking so much questions. But personally, I'm creative, so I didn't find it difficult to.
How long did it take you to learn all of this?
It took me 12 weeks, but because of my performance, she made me stay a little longer.
Okay. And then afterwards?
Yeah, I had a shop at the pedestrian shopping mall, but then it got bent.
Oh no,
so
I'm
now,
sorry.
Yeah, thank you. So now I work from home and then do more of online, yeah, for the meantime.
How's business going?
Oh, so far so good. You know, a lot of people doing the same thing, but your work stands out and it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So they go and then they come back and refer people to.
And your pieces are so unique. We'll be showing our viewers later some of your handiwork, because I mean, you're showing us simple beads, but you can make some really complex products. So there they are looking at some of your work right there. I love that necklace. I mean, if you can see the amount of time you are investing in this one, when you can appreciate how long it will take to make a piece like this. So when they give you the price, don't go asking for into swore. Because this is handmade, okay? Handmade for you. And it takes a lot of time to get through pieces like this. So we're going to continue making some of these beautiful pieces. And of course, you can go onto her social media platform to find out more of the exotic pieces. Where do we find the materials during the?
You can get some at the Makola Mall, and then you can also get some at the Bead Market in Agbogbloshie. Yeah.
So
and sometimes at the Art Center.
Okay.
You can get some too.
And Kobo too. There's a man called Mr. Sidi. I love his work because he actually works with the community to get his beads. So I was really happy when you said you have Kobo beads. But yeah, you go to Makola, you go to Art Center.
And then with the Kobo beads, you can get some at the market, Tuffour Bead Market.
Yeah,
and
they have a lot of cool stuff there too. You know, we need to make use of our local products. With so many imported things in the market right now. There's nothing wrong with imported stuff, but you can mix them with the stuff that we have locally. And even the process of creating the beads, you know, we recycle glass, chop it up. It's another manual thing on its own. So when you meet someone making beads, bow to them, because it takes a lot of concentration, diligence, and hard work to get the pieces that we all love. Where are we now, Dorinda?
So we are almost done here. Then I think we have 29 balls right now.
Okay. So one more ball left and then we're done.
One more ball and then we are done.
Wow. When you were beginning, was there a time when maybe you mess up on one ball and you have to do the whole thing again?
A lot of times.
So if our viewers are watching it, they're messing it up. It's okay.
It's normal.
It's normal. You're a beginner. You're not Dorinda. You're not an expert, so you're not gonna get it overnight.
Yeah.
You might get 5 instead of 4.
I have my ball now. I'll need to cross into it.
Wow. Wow. There we have it.
Because you can use this for earrings too.
Yeah, I think I would even want to make an earring out of it. But for the viewers, like, how would we have gotten to this point if we were going to make the rest of the...
the help of the twine here.
You would just do it around.
You just put the band around. So these are smaller crystals.
But for the sake of time, if you guys want to see the complete work, you would have to follow Dorinda on social media, and then she will show you the magic. Where do we follow you on social media?
Wad Beads on Instagram. That's where I'm now. Wad Beads, WAABEADS.
Yes.
Wad Beads. Yeah.
I'm wearing the finished product of
so that's the 30 beaded ball ring we have there, and then the start here.
Thank you so much. Where do we contact you, or you're comfortable with just social media?
And then my contact is 0246175853, and you can also contact on 0557662506.
Thank you so much, Dorinda.
You're welcome. Thank you too for having me.
So there you have it. We're going to make an earring and a ring in just a few minutes. So if you're home and you're looking for something fun to do, you can have someone like Dorinda come over and engage the children, engage the family into learning a new skill. You never know where it will take you. Take a look at our entertainment highlights, and then we will be right back.
Welcome to Entertainment Highlights on Breakfast Daily. My name is Akua. Nick Cannon says he has a change of heart. The host of Fox The Max Singer tweeted yesterday that he was sorry for the anti-Semitic comments that he made during the episode of his videotape podcast Cannon's Class, and that he offered his deepest and most sincere apologies to the Jewish sisters and brothers for the hurtful and divisive words he said during the episode of his videotape podcast Cannon's Class. Cannon's apology comes just hours after Viacom CBS severed ties with the Wild 'N Out host after failing to apologize for promoting hateful speech and spreading anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. You remember how Lady Prempe took everyone by surprise after she featured Asem on her song Odoi Wohin? She might be doing a similar project with Patapaa soon. She said in an interview on OKFM that she has been the #1 fan of the One Corner hit maker. According to Lady Prempe, her main reason she is considering featuring Patapaa is to win souls for Christ by reaching Patapaa's fan base, adding that her step to feature Patapaa was inspired by God. The act of celebrities crossing over in showbiz from one field to another is no news. While Emilia Brobe is patiently nursing her music ambitions, rapper Joey B has expressed interest in acting. The stable's hit maker tweeted that he was interested in joining the Kumawood family as an actor. "I really want to start acting solely Kumawood movies," he tweeted. And that's all for Entertainment Highlights on Breakfast Daily.
Comprehensive news. The City Newsroom at 8 p.m. on City TV is your most engaging news bulletin on TV.
It's a very that's too bad. The youth are still throwing stones. They are still throwing stones here into our direction. And can I come in? I want to come in. Okay.
Telling your stories better with correspondents covering every corner of the country.
Getting access to potable water is a daily struggle for residents of Kakichekopi and Balekopi communities in the Ada East district of the Greater Accra region.
City Newsroom at 8 p.m.
It's 1 week. What do you say?
Is it unfair? What all this? What all this? We are dying! We are dying! We are dying for Choco!
With City Newsroom, your community is now connected.
In this our community, all of us, we are very sorry of this school. If we went and see the children, they are so small. Even my grandchildren are there, my grands outside there. If they come out from the school, I have to be safe.
Every day at 8 p.m., City Newsroom is live on City TV.
Welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily on CTTV. We want to hear from you guys watching us, and so use the hashtag Breakfast Daily, and also send in your WhatsApp comment via the number 0550585832. If you're watching from outside Ghana, use the country code +233. It's time now for our Creative Life segment, and this morning we're talking fashion. We're going into gowns, how to make gowns locally, then dresses as well. But I'm just hurt a little bit because they make for females only. They don't do anything for males. Yes, but this morning we're talking to Joanna Amua Uredu. She's a creative director of Snip House. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay.
You're good? Awesome. So, yeah, so tell us about what you do, what inspired it and authored.
Okay, so Snip House started in February.
February this year?
Yes, please.
Wow.
The idea was around July last year, but we started in February, and so far, so we make women's wear, dinner, casual, wherever you want to take it to, and so far so good.
It's been great, huh?
It's been great.
Yeah, so if you have the idea from July last year, what took you so long? Why did you have to wait it out till this year?
Honestly, I didn't really have the confidence. So my boyfriend was the brain behind the whole thing. I had the skill, but I was a bit scared. What if I destroy someone's fabric?
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to come in. Yes. So I was like, I can't do this. But my boyfriend kept telling me, you can do it, you can do it. Why don't we just start up? So we're supposed to start in July last year, but we decided to start in February, all because of me. But it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
So
great.
what was it like designing for your first client?
My first client, I'll say that again. My boyfriend gave me my first client in the UK. He got a chance to study abroad, so he went to the UK, got some clients for me, and then I shipped it to the person, took pictures, and I was a bit scared. Because after my internship, I didn't know I could get this far. I didn't know I could just stitch someone's clothes. I didn't believe in myself, but I think I have the confidence now. I think this is okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Ferdinand obviously pushed all this and made it happen.
Yes.
He's been on Twitter. I mean, we've seen the thread. Amazing stuff. So we want to talk to Ferdinand now. Ferdinand, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Awesome. You're live on CCTV. How are you?
I am all right. It's just I just woke up.
So tell us, what pushed you into pushing Joanna to do what she did? You felt that the talent was going to go waste if you didn't push her to start putting it to work?
No, not really. Okay, there are two things. First of all, I was being a little selfish. I think everybody should be, because I didn't see the point. She's done with school. She's looking for a job, and you know how women suffer with how they struggle with getting jobs in Ghana. You understand what I mean? So
yeah.
I just couldn't stand it. So at that point, I was being selfish.
Yeah.
Then the other side where, and this is just me. My friends would tell you, if you're on my social media, I am always pushing. People. I believe that everybody deserves a quote and unquote a Ferdinand in their life. Somebody.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes, if I find you genuine enough, I give it my all to just support you. So away from the boyfriend girlfriend thing, I just love to support people.
Yeah. So and what do you make of what she's done so far with her works? She's
she doesn't know even she doesn't even know how well she has done yet. Most of the time, I'm always criticizing and attacking her work. I'm always lying in my bed, telling her that this is not nice enough. When deep down, I know this is nice, but I just know that there's this edge that she can cross. I'm so far impressed, but I want more.
So we're having Joanna put a dress on this mannequin. So, okay. So what are you going to put on this now? You're going to design it.
I'm trying to drape because I don't have a machine here, and because of time.
Yeah. So you're just going to pin the fabric.
Yes, I'm going to pin the fabric.
Okay.
So this is called draping. Yeah. I'm just going to make a boo-boo dress.
Okay. So Ferdinand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel when you watch her go through the process, do what she does, and do you think, you're getting her onto the right path?
Yeah, I think this is what she loves doing. All she needed was someone to support her and make her believe in her art and skill. Most of the time when she has an order, she gives me a call, look at the design she has made or she has proposed. As usual, I just criticize it. I enjoy criticizing him. That's my favorite part of our relationship, criticizing the work.
About good criticism, of course.
Yes, yes, of course. The note thing comes soon enough, but I have pictures of her crying while she's working, and if the note had come earlier, I would have just
Ferdinand, you're a mean guy. You're a mean guy. So let's talk about the marketing of the brand. What strategies are you employing to market the brand?
Okay, so I think there's this organic love that people have for the brand, and I think it's just mainly because of the story. So on that level, we haven't had to push out any astronomical figures to market the brand. It's just moving, because we started when we've been in social media space for this 6 months or less.
Wow.
And the following is massive. But moving forward, I am looking. First of all, I need her to create that because we can't market what hasn't been created.
Yeah.
I just need her to keep creating and experimenting. This is the time she's allowed to make mistakes. So I just want to allow her to just create. And then moving forward, I wanted to consolidate the Ghanaian market. After consolidating the Ghanaian market, we look at collaborating with, partnering up with distributing companies from the parts of Africa, especially, so that we can open up the brand to the world. But for now, we are still young, and I just want her to keep creating.
All right. So yes. So tell us about exactly what it is that you're doing.
Okay, so I'm making a boo-boo dress with a little crop top. Striped fabric really complements the black and white complements the yellow. So I decided to make this boo-boo dress since I don't have a machine here. And then you can take this out, you get your slip on. And then
but this is for a casual look.
This is for a casual look. You can take it out. You don't have to wear heels or something. You just have to take your slippers and you're good to go. Just because I don't have a machine here. And with draping, you can actually know what you are doing. You bring what you have in mind into reality.
Okay. So
I know that if I'm going to stitch a dress, this is how I want it to look like. You can actually make it on the dress, transfer it to the sewing machine, and then you stitch it. Because of time, I can't do a flat pattern.
Okay.
Yes, so I decided to make this, and you can take this out. I also have another thing to do.
Okay.
That is the cow neck effect. So you can take this out, wherever you want to go.
Yeah, but how long will it take to complete this if you're to sew?
Approximately, this is not really difficult to do. Okay. So let's say about 2 hours or 3 hours.
Wow.
When you are focused, you can just do this 3 or 4 hours, 2 hours, you can do this.
All right, great.
Yes.
Ferdinand. Fed, are you there?
I'm here, sir.
Well, let's talk about scaling up the business. In a year or two, where are you looking to take this business?
Okay, short term, I'm looking at watching her experiment and bridging the gap between affordability and quality.
Yeah.
There's this large market space in Ghanaian fashion where you either have to pay so much. Those two extremes is what we are looking at and targeting. So when you look at the cost of your work, they are not as expensive, but are as of high quality as any brand you could find. Yes. Okay. So I wanted to keep bridging that gap. We are just experimenting and using different fabric. We want to experiment more with fabric from local companies like GTP. I'm actually looking forward to working with GTP on most of our work. So that's the short term. Medium term, we are looking at getting we need to get a proper working space. She works from home. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yes, and if she's creating all of these things just for working from home and literally by herself alone, we want to get a proper space that leaves an aesthetic experience that customers or clients will not forget.
Right.
So we are working on that, and then in the long term, we want to improve on our online presence. Work with distribution companies that would send our work all over the world. Yeah.
Right. So I like what you're doing with her. So what you identified a gap, especially in the gown sector, and then you sought to step in to address the issue there.
Yeah, that's all. Because getting married is very expensive in Ghana. I don't know about other countries,
that's
but
true.
in Ghana it's really expensive. Most of the money comes from how much you spend on, let's say, food or the location, but the next thing is the clothing, especially that sort of females. And it's just because let's say authentic kente in Ghana is quite expensive to acquire, difficult to work with. So it costs a lot. So we are trying to mix kente up with something else. The first thing we tried was Blisco, and it came out perfect. We are looking again to work with other fabrics, GTP, whatever is available, just so that we can scale down the cost of producing gowns, whether for white weddings or for traditional marriages.
Wow,
that's awesome. Speaking things up.
Joanna is getting a lot of props on social media. I'm reading off our Facebook feed, and Amankwa is screaming out her name. Joanna. Ruki Seibu says, lovely. Marie Peter Jr. says, go higher, Jo. I'm happy for you. Sarah Kumi says, so high, Joanna. And this is Mami Fia Sewa Owari also screaming out your name, Joanna. So obviously, yes, you're getting the props up there from Facebook. Now let's talk about this. What is this that you have just put together?
Okay, so this is a cowl neck dress. It can be a top, but someone can wear this as short as this. Someone can wear it. So this is the cowl neck effect.
Okay.
Yes.
Why is it called a cowl neck effect?
It just drops like that. So this is how we can use a flat pattern method, but because of time, and this is the kind of fabric we use for cowl neck effect. You can't use a very hard material to do this. It won't flow as much as you want it to come out.
Right. Yeah. And how long will it take to make this?
The same as 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Or even less.
Yes. So tell us, in designing a gown for someone, now the fabrics, the kente and all of that, what contribution do you make towards that? Or the client just picks colors and then you go out looking for the kente and the fabric?
It depends on what you want.
So I think we have some of your work on the screen. If you can tell us about this one.
I made this dress for someone for her court wedding.
Okay.
Last year. This I made for a friend, a very dear friend. Ajua Loud.
Okay.
Yes.
Amazing stuff. Stuff.
Yes.
So, like I was asking, the color combination and all that, is that your idea or is the client's idea?
It's my idea. It's my idea. Sometimes the client comes with a fabric. I can tell the person that no, we can't work with this. Yeah. Okay, so it's either I go with you to go and buy the stuff, or you leave everything to me for you to get sorted out.
Okay. So this is what got Twitter buzzing.
Yes.
This is what Fed used for the thread.
Yes.
So let's discuss this. This is Kente and what? Vlisco?
Vlisco, yes.
Okay. Tell us what went into the conceptualization of the idea and, of course, the final product. I see some beads also on it.
Yes, please.
Tell us what went into putting this together.
So my client came to me and she was like, everyone is doing kente, Yes, and she wanted a bit of a change.
Right.
So, yes. So I decided to, she was like, okay, we can do African print. And I said, the African print has to be really unique.
Yeah.
So she brought a fabric later and I told her that the fabric wouldn't fit or it wouldn't suit the dress and the occasion. So we went to Akua Mall, went to get a nicer fabric, but we can't do away with the kente because of culture.
Yeah.
So we decided to get a plain fabric kente, and then the Vlisco at least is still African. Yeah. So we decided to get it. I stitched it, beaded everything for her, and then she loved it.
Wow.
She loved it.
Wow. Now you are pricing your stuff a little below the industry standards. Why?
I think you can actually get quality, which is also affordable. But the difference between designer A and designer B is the story behind the business. Yes, the story behind it. I think that someone has struggled enough. We are actually focusing and targeting people who really can't afford. It's not like you can't afford, but this is my budget.
Yeah.
Okay, if we have to go a little higher, we can do that, but this is my budget. So how can you work it out for me and I still get what I want? So we take everything into consideration. We can talk about the fact that I am a national service personnel. I want to look good.
Yeah.
But I don't have the money to afford it.
Exactly.
You have different fabrics, nice fabrics, which are way cheaper. We can actually make that happen for you. So for now, we are actually running a promotion, a project to cater for people's budget.
Awesome.
That is it. So,
drop your social media handles so they know where to follow.
Instagram at Snip House, Snip Space House.
Okay.
And then Twitter, Snip_House.
Awesome. Joanna, thank you so much. Social media is still buzzing. I mean, they're still going for you. And as to say, we saw free says go Joanna. He drops the fire emojis. And your name see. Go baby girl. Anthony Ofori he also says, Joanne, I always knew you were gifted. It's time to consider my proposal of you making gents wear. I think I agree. All right, thank you so much, Joanne, for coming, and thank you so much for pushing Joanne Ferdinand. You're a great guy. Keep supporting, keep pushing the movement.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's amazing when we get to feature young entrepreneurs, and we can't wait to see their businesses bloom into global conglomerates. Speaking of talent, keyboard idol, we've received so many videos. We want to share some of that talent with you, so we'll take a look and then we'll have a conversation with Tisha. Welcome back. Again, we're going to narrow down to the top 20 and we'll be showing you who will make it. But before then, we have a really talented young woman here with us. We've been enjoying her music all morning, and it's such a pleasure to finally meet her. Good morning, Tisha.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
How's the journey been for you in the music industry?
It's been great. It's been quite tough, but we still struggle through that, so it's been great.
You're really talented.
Thank you.
I think she is.
Yeah.
Thank
But
you
you just
so
mentioned
much.
that it's been tough. When you say tough, what do you mean?
I mean, we've been through the struggle, but we still made it.
Yeah, I like that.
Tell us about your single.
Okay, so titled 6:30, produced by Confirm. Video has been shot by director Abbas. And basically 6:30 talks about unacceptable behavior of men. That's basically cheating.
I love the video, by the way.
Here we go.
Like in the video, it looks like her and her friends conspired to do something to the guy.
Yeah.
I think I should watch it after the show.
Yes, where can we catch the single, get the video? We all want to support you.
Right, so it's on all streaming platforms. It's on YouTube, on Xylophone Music YouTube channel. And if you go on my Instagram, Atisha Official too, the link is in my bio. So you just click, watch, share, like it.
Thank you. What's next for you?
A whole lot. A lot. Hits back to back.
Wow.
Yeah.
We wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but what's the usual comment you get since you came out in the limelight? What's the usual comment you get?
Well, most people were happy, and others too, of course, will get critics, but we're still struggling.
Tough skin,
tough skin.
Go, girl. Go, girl.
Now, people tend to compare you to Ebony, may her soul rest in peace. Super talented. How do you ensure that you differentiate yourself from her so that we know you as Tisha?
Right. So first of all, I'm a unique artist, Tisha. My style of music, my brand, style of fashion, everything is different. So, especially my genre. So I'm just trying to be different. I only sound like her, unfortunately.
Oh, it's just good. It's great. It's great. It's great.
Yes, but I am different. I am. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, those shoes are big. Well, it's not like you're trying to step in those. You're on your own path. And we're wishing you all the
Thank you
best.
very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
How does it feel like riding in the limo in town?
Hey.
Oh, you knew I was going to check that in, right? Yeah. How do you feel like?
Well, I feel like a queen.
You're a queen, baby.
Queen.
We can't wait to see all the things you've accomplished. And we look forward to you coming back here and sharing all your successes with us. Keep going. We need more women in this industry, and we're proud that you exist.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tisha.
Thank you very much.
There you are home for staying for Breakfast Daily. It's been an interesting show. I love it when we have young talent on the show. The country has so much to offer, and we all have to support them and help them succeed. My name is Dziffa Ametam.
And my name is Nana Tuffour Boateng. Hopefully I get a limo ride sometime.
So today we're going to make beads. If you're home and you want to know something new, we learned about fashion and the importance of boyfriends promoting their girlfriends, okay? Promote your friends, help them get to the top, and of course, Tisha. Go to YouTube, subscribe to her channel, go to social media, promote her work. Let's help our young talent get to where they all need to be.
And then also let us know what the challenges are in your communities. Send us a 1-minute video, send us a text via the email hellomrpresidenttv@gmail.com, and we'll be sure to put them out there for the policymakers to see and to hear, and of course prefer some solutions to those challenges.
Tomorrow's Friday.
It is
Friday. I can't wait for Friday. Bye guys, enjoy your day.